Hey, we are here. I'm Susan Leonardson. This is Andrea Peer, and
Hello.
we're going to dive into talking about is ClickFunnels the right digital product business software for you in 2024? Is it the right thing to use when you're building courses or membership areas, or you're giving away other digital products and you want to house them somewhere? And generally, just is it a good software to use for that type of business, which is there's a lot of components. So we're actually going to cover the 5 systems that a digital product business would need to have in order to be a fully functioning, healthy running business. And does ClickFunnels stack up to being able to handle those systems? So let's get ready to dive in. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Okay. Andrea, you have put in some preparation on like kind of mapping out the 5 systems. So we're going to cover kind of the overview. We're not going to get into too much detail in this video. This is going to be pretty quick. And you guys should know, we should preface, we are biased towards ClickFunnels.
Yes.
If you're here for like a slander bash ClickFunnels video, this is not the video for you. If you're here for I just want to hear all the good things about ClickFunnels and all the fluffy rainbow stuff, you're also not going to get that from us. We're biased towards ClickFunnels, but we have always been very honest and fair of our assessment with ClickFunnels. We have a really good relationship with the company and with the owners of the company and the employees with the company, but we also have built a community that expects us to show up and be completely honest about the state of the software. So that is what you're going to get from us.
Yes.
Okay.
And why now? Because there's been some big changes with ClickFunnels 2.0. So if you've been on the fence or you have been in the like, it's not ready, I've heard the bad whatever, right? Like this is why we're making this video, because there been a big shift towards this idea of like, is it time to come back if you left? So we want to try to put this together to also help you with that decision.
Yeah. For timeline purposes, this is live streamed literally today. This is brand new if you're watching us live. FHL Funnel Hacking Live just happened last week. That's the big event that ClickFunnels and Russell Brunson does. And they announced some new features that have been long awaited. And so that was also kind of spurring on like, is now the time? Yeah. So without further ado.
Yes. All right, I'll go ahead and share my screen. And so, like Susan said, we put together how we think about the core systems. Now, we could get super fancy, and there's a lot of other systems that you can add to this. But the purpose of this video is for the like, no kidding, must-haves, core. If you're just beginning and you're trying to make the best decision for the budget and for the wallet and for the like overhead of operations, we put together, this is just the basics that you absolutely have to have if you're going to have a digital product business. Now, Susan, I really like what you said in the beginning too, of when we're talking about digital product business, you had a really good point about like the types of digital products that we're thinking about or that might be included in this. Do you want to just hit on that really quick?
Yeah.
So people can frame that.
Yeah, because digital product is like it could be anything, right? Anything that you're not physically holding. And so when we talk about digital products, like you might think, oh, well, I can like create a quick ebook. I could create a PDF. I could create like there's anything that's digital, right? When we're talking about digital product businesses, we're talking about businesses where they're primarily selling digital products. So typically businesses that are doing that are selling like programs, educational experiences, not just a one-off PDF or a one-off ebook. It like you're building your business around educational digital products. So that would be like courses, continuity membership type experiences, libraries of content, like anything that you probably need to put the content somewhere, like the curriculum or the trainings behind a login type of system. So the customer needs to go log in to access the content.
Yeah, well said. That's a really good summary. Okay, so the way that we think about the different aspects of a business is there's really 5 systems that you have to have. There's the outreach system, the nurture system, the marketing system, the sales system, and the fulfillment system. Now, you could have different products in each one of these, but we always like to have as many things under one roof. So let's kind of talk a little bit about what's included and then highlight some of the things that we're seeing in the ClickFunnels system to support it. So the first one is outreach. Outreach really is I mean, I like to think of like the people who do it best are really the people who are like old school door-to-door direct marketing people, right? Like outreach is just simply, I'm going to be out on social, I'm posting my content out there. But at the end of the day, I'm probably going to need some kind of way to be able to like book a call or be able to like make appointments so that I can actually talk to people and invest in that relationship on the outreach side. And I need a social system. So the social systems, like YouTube is an awesome social system. It is our number one. It is where we get the most conversions is from our YouTube content. So that is the social system. You're not going to find these in a marketing software, right? These are out on the social systems. So this would be like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, I'm TikTok, right? Like these are the ones that are out there. But what you do want is you want the ability to be able to connect in with those systems. So that's where, like if just putting a link to a calendar or being able to put a series of links out there, right? Those are those outreach systems. Now, the calendar product is probably, what do you think, Susan? Maybe as of like a couple months ago, we never would have recommended the ClickFunnels software, but we've actually stress tested it, and it is our weapon of choice that we're recommending to most of our clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does everything that a basic calendaring schedule system needs to do. And actually, I would argue it does a little bit more than the basic options out there.
Yeah. Now, if you are using though, like a round robin technique, right, where it's like you need a calendar system that's a business calendar system that can handle multiple people's calendars. And so when requests come in to book a call, it needs to round robin to your team. It doesn't do that yet. So that's where you would need to have something like a SavvyCal or a Calendly, which are the 2 best ones out there to do that. But for the most part, if you're a solopreneur or you just have a couple people on your team and you can manage the direction of things, the ClickFunnels 2.0 calendar has really proven to be quite useful for we've tested it and our clients are using it right now.
And what's nice is it's already in the software. It's already built in. You can't like it's easy to it's a seamless setup for when someone books a call. They go into this workflow and they get these specific emails. Like you can go crazy with the automations with it.
Yeah, it's super nice. Yeah. Okay, the next one is the nurture game. This is the one that is like least talked about, but it is the most important that leads to conversions. So you have to have a nurture game. Now, in the nurture game, depending on how you bring people into your world, this is a space that you can, for the most part, control, and you can increase the touch points with your customers and get to know them better, get to know their pain points, get to know why they're coming to you, get to know their language, be able to track it, be able to specifically target things to different people based on what they need. So in order to have a really good nurture system, you have to have email. That's critical. Text messaging is a bonus. Some kind of direct message on social is usually needed, especially if you're doing conversions via conversation. You need to have a good CRM. So one where you can actually have information on a contact so you can segment, so that you can target, so that you can nurture in a more personalized way. And then you need to have automations because this is a space in your business that it is a time suck. There's a lot of time that can go into nurture, and you want to make sure that your time is maximized so that the things that are just distinctly human that need to be done can be done, and things that don't need to be human can be automated. So that's critical. This is where Susan and I have a really good debates. So I would say, so from an email standpoint, the email system in ClickFunnels 2.0 is pretty good. We are ourselves getting more educated on email deliverability. And so now with 2.0, you can add secondary email systems like a SendGrid or a Mailgun. So you can improve email deliverability, which is really nice. They didn't have that before. text messaging is still a question mark on the platform. It's not as easy. You can still use tools like Twilio and have integration to do that, but there's no direct way right now to really incorporate texting into the product yet. Would you agree with that, Susan? Would you add anything onto that?
I think that that's where we don't have clients that have utilized that feature as much, so we're probably less experienced in that. There is a feature in there called Message Hub,
Yeah.
and does allow for texting to happen, and it does still use the integration of, you have to still have a Twilio account for it to be connected to. That's the service layer essentially. And but we haven't set that up for our own business, and we don't have clients that are really utilizing that system at the moment, but it's there.
Fun fact though, when it first did land, I put it out on one of our pages. And one of our current retainer clients, that's how she found us. That's how she came into our world, was via that Message Hub feature. So it is a powerful feature if you can man it and you can put it in all the right spots.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I think that the CRM part of it, this is probably the part where we go back and forth a little bit. I think it's great for someone just starting in their business. It's come a really long way. I think, Andrea, you can speak to the CRM management and being able to use custom attributes and custom fields. That's like a little bit more advanced. Some of you watching this may have no idea even what we're talking about when we talk about that. Having that though does become important as your business grows, and they are getting that more added into the software more and more all the time. Anything else you want to speak to?
Yeah. Essentially what that means is that if you really want to have a very sophisticated targeting strategy so that you can highly customize, it's not as strong as some of the other CRM choices out there. But again, like Susan said, if you're just beginning and you don't have a lot of deep like segmentation strategy, which I would encourage you not to when you're first starting, it is really come a long way, and it is what we recommend now above all other systems.
Mm-hmm. And then automations, like there's so much to automate inside of ClickFunnels. Like we could spend probably a week's worth of videos just talking about all the ways you can automate. So like they've given us so much we can do in there between workflows. If you have a ClickFunnels account and you're poking around in there, workflows is where you can automate. There's pipelines where you can automate. There's so much to be done.
Yeah, so much. Yeah, they've really done a great job in there. So that's definitely grown and exploded. I mean, it contends with the best automation systems out there now. Okay, marketing. Marketing is another one that people a lot of times don't talk about. They just go from like outreach to sales. But nurture and marketing are really actually what makes conversions happen. And so marketing, really in marketing, you need a pipeline. Like Susan said, you need some way to be able to track your leads, where are they at, where are they at in the buying cycle, for you to be able to intelligently speak to them and manage that. And at the end of the day, marketing is an events game. I think Susan, you've done a lot in terms of like the new events features and the countdown funnels inside of ClickFunnels 2.0. Do you want to mention that a little bit of that? It's a great feature now.
Yeah. So if you're old school ClickFunnels user or a different funnel platform, and you are familiar with another tool out there that allowed for you to essentially put a countdown timer on your funnel, and when it expired, people couldn't go back to it. You forced them to not be able to go back to it. That's all built internally now. But aside from that, there's a whole events feature in there as well that allows you to set up recurring events, one-time events. There's a hybrid option, and it helps with the automation of your funnel. And it helps with the automation of sending out emails according to when the event is happening. So that is available in there as well. And we use that like anytime any one of our clients or us are setting up a workshop that's happening, or a challenge or a webinar, like that is the feature that is being used. So that one's a must in there.
Yeah. And that's a one-to-one or one-to-many that's supported. It's great. And then pipelines, or also called opportunities, or it goes sometimes by other names. And if you're at Active Campaign, it's deals. But the ability to be able to track where people are. And the cool thing is that ClickFunnels is one of the only systems I've ever seen that you can actually do automations right on the stages inside of the pipeline, which is really nice. So basically, like anytime somebody enters the stage or exits the stage, do this. Which is fantastic, just to automate things. And again, that automation, email email, text, message are all a part of the marketing system and work pretty seamlessly together inside of ClickFunnels 2.0.
Mhm.
Okay. The third or fourth system is sales. So obviously, I think this is without contention. Like you could get a lot of other opinions on all the systems that we've mentioned today, but I think hands down, everybody will agree that ClickFunnels is the king of funnels.
Mhm.
They are the leader when it comes to funnels to be able to sell stuff. It's what they were, born out of. And so
Mhm.
they, of course, are category kings when it comes to being able to create funnels. And really, if you're new to funnels, it's just the ability to be able to handhold somebody through a particular sale in such a way that it's not just a one-time purchase, but it's a complementary products along the way so that you can increase that cart value at the end of the funnel.
Yeah.
They have tons of options on it. Yeah.
Well said. I was just going to add, like, they were category kings prior to them coming out with this version 2 of their software,
Yeah.
and everyone started to catch up to them because, they were innovating on top of what ClickFunnels had already built. And no, everyone was innovating in the wrong direction. And so ClickFunnels is still the category kings. There is nobody out there that does subscription management like ClickFunnels does. If
Yeah.
you have an offer or have the desire to have a product where people are subscribed on a recurring payment basis, there is no other service you want to use. This is hands down the best one.
Yeah. Yep. And then shop. So we don't do e-com, we do expert businesses when we're talking about digital products, but you might have like a one-off digital product that you want to sell. So like, for instance, we're coming out with our new continuity program, but inside the continuity program, there might be pieces of it that we sell ad hoc. And so we need the ability to be able to have a shop where people can buy different products as one-off products. And so ClickFunnels has come a long way on the shop front. I still think they have a little ways to go, especially with like when you're selecting multiple products and managing those multiple products. So I don't know, Susan, do you want to weigh in on that? Because I know you've also played in that area a little bit more.
I don't have very much experience in the shop area, but I was just saying I was sending Andrea a message this morning of like, we should set up our shop.
Yeah.
So we'll be diving more into this. One of our team members who's not here with us, Nicole, she's our funnel builder and designer on the team. She's dove in a lot into the shops and has built some for some of our clients. So it's there, it's usable. I think Andrea is right in that there's some improvement to be made. I know that they're going to be putting probably a lot of focus into improving the shops coming up. But again, you're here because you're interested in a digital product business, and the shop is probably the last thing that you're ever going to implement into your business. So it's
Yeah.
not really that important for deciding on which software you're going to use for your digital product business.
Yeah. And you could always just use a funnel to sell products. So, okay. And then the last thing on the sales part is the point of sale system. So this is a little bit still of a contentious issue. So ClickFunnels 2.0 uses a system called Payments AI. So whenever you are purchasing anything, there's the gateway, and then there's the processor. And so they do give you the ability to pick whatever processor you want, like Stripe, PayPal, NMI is one, NHI, or and then Payments AI could be one of your processors. But then you also need the actual the gateway part. And so Payments AI, you have to use it in ClickFunnels as that first one, but then you can choose whatever backend you want. Now, we've seen a lot of numbers that say, do you lose money? Is it cheaper? We think it is still cheaper to use the Payments AI both for both parts of the system. But we do find that there is I think, larger than average fail rate with Payments AI. So we have a backup of Stripe, which has served us well. So that is the one area on sales. So do you want to say anything on that point of sale? I know we've run into a lot of scenarios on that one.
Yeah. I think it also kind of depends on where you live. Payments AI isn't available in every country.
Yeah.
But you can still have Payments AI connected into one of the other things. So if you live in a different country where Payments AI isn't supported, you still can use ClickFunnels. Like it'll still work for you. So all in all, I've been happy with it, and they keep improving upon it every day.
They are really responsive. Like, for instance, when they launched, we had a UK client that they ran into problem after problem. We gave a lot of really great feedback, and they were super responsive. Ended up getting a new bank that they were working with in the UK and fix the problem. So they are, like to Susan's point, they are making wild improvements on a pretty rapid basis to improve that service. And then obviously in sales, you need to be able to have an email system, an automation system, and a CRM system to support those sales. So like, for instance, if you wanted to, present prior buyers with something else, then that CRM coupled with the funnels gives, and automation gives you some really powerful capabilities. So, and again, I think 2.0 is hands down, better than any on the sales front.
Yep.
Okay, finally, last one, fulfillment. This is our baby. This is our favorite part to play. And this is in building the membership experience. There's a lot of options out there. Thinkific, Teachable, Kartra, Kajabi, Go High Level. There's tons, right? Experienceify. We've done some Should I Switch series. We're really familiar with all of the platforms out there. And we still contend that hands down, the ClickFunnels 2.0 allows you the freedom and flexibility to create the experience that you want. Having said that, I do think that there is some growing pains on the fulfillment front out of the box. If you are not in our programs, where I think we do a pretty good job of like shepherding people through to understand how to actually make ClickFunnels bend to your will and make it be something that you really love. I will say that if you were brand new coming into it, I think it's still a little confusing, a little hard to just pick up and run with. I think they're pushing something called learning hubs, which is not a great experience for customers. That's why we always do the custom builds. So I would say out of the box, it's not as easy to use, but the flexibility and freedom that you have with it, and that it's integrated with everything else, it's worth the learning curve. And especially if you come into our community, that learning curve is depleted or decreased. But yeah, that's what I would say on that. What would you add on that, Susan?
I think that's very accurate. We love it so much because it allows us to build the experiences we want. However, with that freedom and flexibility of customization comes a learning curve. We have the ability to, well, soon, hopefully, we will have the ability to actually share templates of membership areas to our customers and our clients. And that'll be amazing. We'll be able to just share that over to you. So with that, I want to just say, like, if you want to be notified when that is a possibility, if you're like, okay, ClickFunnels sounds like the thing for me, and you want to dive in a little bit deeper, or you just want to come learn more and you're still assessing, you are welcome to come into our group. It's a free community. It's on Facebook. The link is in the description, and you're welcome to jump in there. You can ask us all the questions you want, and we will provide that support there. And we have events. We run events monthly where we are teaching and educating. And then we do have a membership of our own that you could come into if you wanted to. And if you want to know more about that, come into our community and ask us about it.
Speaking of our community, Allison just gave us a great shout out. Hey, Allison, amazing community herself. So super appreciate the shout out.
We're on YouTube. You can leave comments down below this video too if you have questions for us. And if you want to connect with us in any other way, I didn't put it in the description, but I'll add it later. geekoutconnect.com is our site. You can connect with us in there. All right. Okay. I think that's probably it for us today. So we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. Thanks.
Right, take care.